Standing with the feet shoulder width apart. We're going to bring our hands to our kidneys. And we're going to begin by massaging the kidneys. Waking up the energy for our practice. Allow your touch to be a nourishing one. Like you might wake up a young sleeping child without startling it, and gently inviting it into the day, or in our case, without startling our energy, gently inviting our body, our mind, our hearts, our energy into the practice. And then we will begin to tap down the backs of the legs, backs and the sides, as far as you can reach, maybe all the way to your feet if you can. And then tapping up the insides of your legs, coming to the area of your lower belly, or your low dantian. Here we're going to gently tap. If you are pregnant or currently menstruating, please choose gentle circles in your lower belly instead. Otherwise, if your body is open to it, gently tapping either with the palms of the hands or soft fists. So soft that you could hold baby birds inside your fists and not harm them. This begins to wake up our energy in the low dantian, making it available for our practice. The low dantian is one of the main reservoirs of energy in our body. Let the belly be relaxed and full. Make space in your belly for your breath and for your energy. And we're going to tap up the center line of the body to about the middle of our breastbone. And here we're going to pause and gently tap. Behind the breastbone here is a gland called the thymus gland. It is a gland that is involved in immunity. So by tapping here, we are stimulating it and activating it, supporting its healthy function so it can help us ward off pathogens and viruses that might be beginning to circulate through our community at this time of year as the weather gets cooler and wetter. Any point during this practice, if you want to linger somewhere for longer, you can feel free to do so. And then just come back to the video. You can pause the video and linger where it feels good. I'll let your body be the guide through the practice. And let my instruction be just an invitation. And And then tapping up towards under the collarbone. And take one hand and tap along just underneath the collarbone towards the shoulder. And before you get to the shoulder bone, to the head of the humerus, you find a point here and either making a beak, bringing your fingers together and massaging here, or you can take your fist and massage here, or you can take an open palm and massage. So whatever feels supportive. This is the area where the lung meridian comes towards the surface of the body. So this is the start of the external branch of the lung meridian. Lungs are one of the organs associated with the fall season in traditional Chinese medicine. So what we're doing here is we are waking up the energy at the entry point of the lung meridian, tending to this meridian, which in traditional Chinese medicine, every organ of the 12 main organs recognized by traditional Chinese medicine has a meridian. It's like a river of energy. And this meridian is just as important as the organ itself to a balanced function of that organ. So opening the hand now, placing the palm over this point, we're going to breathe in here. And breathe out, we're going to slide the palm down the inside of the arm, all the way to the thumb and past the thumb, and release the energy. We're going to do this 5 times. So inhaling into the entry point of the lung meridian, exhaling, sliding the palm down the inside of the arm to the thumb, past the thumb. This is the whole pathway of the external branch of the lung meridian. So what you can imagine here is like clearing the channel of energy, clearing it of any blockages, anything stagnant, so that energy can flow freely and easefully through the meridian. And then we're going to turn the arm over and come back to tapping up the back of the arm. We can take our time here. We're just going to do this once. This part of the arm is home to the large intestine meridian. The large intestine being the sister organ to the lungs associated with the fall season. So here we are, again, we are stimulating the energy and clearing any blockages. So coming to the back of the shoulder, maybe all the way to the base of the neck. If you like, you can have a little massage around this area, feeling with your fingers for where there might be tension or stuck energy, and just inviting the body to release, letting your touch be an invitation, not a force, not a demand to the body. And when you feel complete with this, we're going to swap the arms over, coming again to the place where the 2 collarbones meet and going along underneath the other collarbone towards the head of the arm bone, and finding the place where the collarbone, just before it reaches the arm bone, and either making the beak by bringing your fingers together, or making the soft fist and tapping, waking up the entry point of the lung meridian on this side. The meridians are symmetrical on both sides of the body. Let your breath be easeful and natural as you do this, as best you can. Perhaps today your breath is feeling a bit constricted. That's okay. Can you allow for your breath to be as is, without judgment? Acknowledging what is present for you today. And then opening the palm again, breathing in, breathing out, sliding the palm down the inside of the arm, past the thumb, releasing any unneeded energy. 5 times total. Opening the lung meridian channel, cleansing any stuck energy from it. Like clearing the fallen leaves out of a stream so that the stream can flow easily without water pooling anywhere. And then turning the arm over, coming to the back of the arm, waking up the energy through the large intestine meridian, coming to the back of the shoulder, the base of the neck, and massaging around here a little bit if that feels good. Listening to the little messages from the body, what feels good, what doesn't, and then skillfully adjusting your practice to meet your needs. As skillfully as you can right now. Knowing that over time, with regular practice, this is the kind of skill that grows. And then we're going to take both hands back to the collarbones and tap up the sides of the neck, coming to the jaw, to the TMJ joint, letting the jaw be relaxed and released, maybe tapping down towards the chin, sighing on breath or sound, and tapping back up around your face, noticing where the body might prefer a very gentle touch, where it prefers a firmer touch, coming to the top of the head, back of the head, to the place where the skull meets the top of the vertebral column, and then down the neck on either side of the spine, backs of the shoulders, and picking that up and continuing back down to the kidneys. When you get to the kidneys, opening your palms, just like we did at the beginning, breathing in, breathing out. And then releasing the arms, adjusting your stance if you need to, and noticing the effects of this self-massage practice. We're going to continue to work with the lungs and the large intestine throughout this practice, in particular the meridians. So we're going to move to shoulder rotations. So if you wish, you can take the palm back to the start of the lung meridian or over the top of the shoulder. And remembering the path of the lung meridian all the way to the thumb, taking the palm facing the central line of the body, the thumb leads the way, bringing the arm up, turning the palm towards the back behind you, And then coming back around. So circling up, palm turns behind you, coming back around. Noticing where you breathe in, where you breathe out. Keeping in your awareness the entire path of the lung meridian, from its entry point beneath the palm of your hand, down the inner arm, all the way to the tip of the thumb. And noticing how the rest of the body may begin to wish to join in with the movement, and allowing that to be so. So Qigong is a practice of wholeness. It's a practice for the whole body, and the mind and the heart and the energy and the emotions. So even though here we're just circling the arm, how is the rest of the body involved? We will change the direction of the circles now, so leading with the thumb, taking the arm overhead, and then coming back the center line in the back. The palm opens towards the sky, and the arm comes around. So to help you bring the rest of the body into the movement, you can follow the hand, maybe the thumb even, with your eyes. And notice how that invites the spine to rotate, to enable you to look at your thumb the whole time. If this is making you dizzy, you can reduce that, just maybe looking behind you as the arm comes up and along the horizon, back towards the front. And of course, please modify your range of movement and your pace to fit you today. Not to fit you yesterday, not to fit you last week or an hour ago, but to fit you today. Let's release this side, bring the other arm, other palm to that entry point of the lung meridian, and again taking the thumb up, turning the palm towards the back, and then bringing it around. Noticing if the range of movement is different on this side of the body. Can you release any judgments about what you may find? In Qigong, we work with something called the rule of 2/3. So that means that we work to 2/3 of our effort level, 2/3 of our range of motion, not all the way going to the outer edges of our range of movement all the time. Not that that's wrong to explore the outer edge, but for the most part, we stay within 2/3. Because if we're always going to our maximum, to our outer edge, there's a potential over time for injury. When we stay instead within 2/3 of our effort level, let's change the direction of the arm now. When we stay within 2/3 of our range of movement, 2/3 of our effort level, it helps the body relax more, and over time it actually begins to gently expand the range of movement. This may seem like a very simple practice of just shoulder rotations, and this is very therapeutic for your shoulders. And since this is where the lung meridian comes up externally, working with releasing tensions in this area helps to balance and support the function of the lungs. Let's let this go now. Again, returning to neutral posture to feel the effects of the practice. My apologies if you can hear the wood chipper in the back. That's what comes with practicing outdoors, bringing into the wholeness of experience what there is. We'll work next with opening and closing the gates. So continuing in the area of the shoulders, taking the arms to cactus shape. I'll show you from the side. Inhaling, we're going to bring the elbows back and down, bringing the shoulder blades back and down with it, looking up. And then exhaling, we bring the back of the hands towards each other, and we're going to round the back so that it makes a C shape all the way from the tailbone to the crown of the head. This repeats, inhaling, opening the gates, taking the elbows back and down. Exhaling, bringing the backs of the hands together, rounding the spine. Moving between extension and flexion. Remembering the 2/3 rule. So not going to maximum effort level, but staying within 2/3 of the range of movement, which allows the body to remain relaxed. What is it like to relax into extension and to relax into flexion? The last time. And then releasing the arms down, returning back to neutral posture. We can step our feet a little bit wider, prepare for the rainbow dance. So taking the arms to face the sky, imagine there is a rainbow over your head between the two palms of your hands. And as if you were holding the rainbow on a scale, allow one end to begin to get heavier, bending the opposite knee as you side bend to one side, and then returning back to center. Allow the other end of the rainbow to begin to get heavier, allowing you to bend over to the other side, the other knee bends, and then coming back to the center. Like this, continue from side to side, like a seesaw movement. Opening the sides of the body now, the sides of the rib cage, making space for the lungs that live inside your rib cage. And become curious when you get to one side bend. Notice how the body itself might be inviting back towards the center. So let the return become more effortless by noticing how the body itself is seeking to balance itself back in the center. And let's let this fall away from the body, coming back with our feet to about shoulder width apart, bending the knees slightly, bringing the palms to face the sky. We're going to inhale the arms up. At the level of the third eye, we'll turn the palms over, face the sky, push the palms away towards the sky, and exhale, bring the arms back around, and the knees will bend. Inhaling, arms lift. They continue to lift, pressing into your feet, into the earth, and towards the sky with your palms simultaneously. Exhaling, sinking, letting the energy sink back down. Inhaling, letting the energy come up, pressing equally towards the earth with your feet and towards the sky with your palms. Exhaling, sinking the energy. Two hands support the heavens. Bringing in my favorite Qigong instruction to practice with an inner smile. And last time, inhaling and exhaling. Returning back to neutral posture, posture of Wuji. And once more noticing how you're feeling, how the practice is impacting you. And then stepping the feet together, we'll move to 5-element form for metal. Metal is the element or phase in 5-element theory that's associated with the fall season. So we're going to step out to the side and at the same time bring in fresh energy into our body, fresh chi. Turn the palms towards the front, bend the knees, press the palms forward. Inhaling, straightening the legs, letting the arms return, palms in front of each lung. Exhaling, stepping the foot back in. Then we're going to go to the other side. So inhaling, stepping to the other side, bringing the arms in, gathering fresh chi into our body. Exhaling, bending the knees, pressing the palms forward, making space around ourselves. Inhaling, bringing each palm in front of each lung. Exhaling, stepping the foot in, settling the chi. Like this we will continue. Inhaling fresh chi to have the energy to push away what we don't need. Creating good boundaries, then leaving the boundaries there. Sensing how we can breathe within the space we created for ourselves. And that fresh chi that came in will settle that in our dantian. Working with a little bit of effort to bring in energy, to push mountain, that's what this is called. Creating good boundaries around ourselves. And then releasing the effort and receiving the effects of our practice, receiving fresh chi within the space we created, and settling and storing this chi in our dantian. Like this we will continue for a few more rounds. I'm going to allow some quiet space for your experience, as quiet as we can have with the wood chipper in the background. Let your shoulders be relaxed, the hands soft, even as you push mountain. Something that sounds quite impossible or very, very difficult. Using soft strength from your dantian to push mountain. So once more to each side. And we meet back in the center. You can step your feet apart again and feel the effects of the practice. Move to wild goose flying. So either leaving the feet shoulder width apart, or if you wish, you can bring them back together. You're going to inhale, bring the arms or the wings of the goose up. Exhale, lower the arms, lower the wings. Inhaling, arms rise. Exhaling, arms lower. Letting your breath set the pace of your practice. So the movement follows the breath until over time they begin to flow together as one. Imagining your arms are the wings of a wild goose that migrates at this time of year. from where I am here in Iceland to warmer territories. And from here it has to fly a long way over the ocean where it doesn't get to rest along the way. So how can you embody the wild goose migrating that has to conserve its energy? Where can you release effort in your arms, maybe in your mind? Invite the arms to almost lift of their own accord so you can make the long migratory journey across the ocean. How can you allow the rest of the body to support the movement of the arms? So to ease some of the effort. So the energy for the movements coming from deep within you, from deep within your dantian, where we stored the energy with the last form. Can you invite that energy now in some way to support the movement of the flying wild goose? And the last time we arrive back in a neutral posture. And we're going to close with a 3-part series of hand gestures, so a more still practice. Beginning by taking the arms, crossing them at the wrists, but the two arms are not touching, and bringing one palm in front of each lung, but the palms are not touching the body either. So this is called 2 lungs breathing. As we breathe in, the arms move a little further away from the body, and as we breathe out, the 2 arms, the 2 palms move towards the body, but not touching. Again, continuing with a sense of movement, mirroring the breath, the movement of the body, of the muscles and the bones, mirroring the movement of the breath. Inhaling, the lungs expand, the arms expand away from the body. Exhaling, the lungs condense, the arms return closer to the body. Letting the shoulders be relaxed and released. The arms, the wrists, the hands, the fingers, soft. The breath coming in naturally. We're not trying to breathe in as much as we can, or breathe out as much as we can. Staying with that sense of 2/3 effort level, even in the breath. And then releasing the arms down, we're going to bring them behind the back, clasping at the elbows, and letting the forearms rest. against the lower back, the area of the kidneys. And invite the breath to come into this part of your body where the forearms are touching towards the kidneys. These are the deep cellars of the lungs. Very capillary rich areas. And in traditional Chinese medicine, the kidneys, which are also in this area, are said to catch hold of the qi from the breath directly. As the breath comes deeply into the lungs like this. So sense or visualize the kidneys catching hold of qi from your breath as you breathe in to the deep cellars of your lungs. And the kidneys are the storage organ of our essence energy, of our deepest energy. So it's almost like imagining when in the fall season you're storing away jams and other things in your cellar to nourish you through the winter season. You can imagine doing the same with the qi from your breath. The breath continues to flow naturally as is available to you right now. There is no striving or effort associated with sending the breath to this deep place within the lungs. If you can't feel the breath there, just use intention, visualization, to imagine that it is going there. And then releasing the arms once more, coming to the third and the last part of this series, bringing the backs of the hands together, letting the qi sink. There's a slight bend in the elbows. The shoulders are relaxed. The hands are at the level of the low belly, or maybe a little bit below. And this is the gesture of letting go. Letting go being associated with the large intestine, the other organ of the fall season that helps us let go of what we no longer need. So relaxing the fingers, the wrists, the arms, the elbows, the shoulders. Maybe you can feel some activation in the backs of the arms where we trace the large intestine meridian. And imagine your arms are like seaweed that you've lifted up, found it on the beach, lifted it up, and some water is dripping off the bottom of the seaweed, dripping off your fingertips. So let everything that you no longer need just drip off your fingers. To go back to Mother Earth for composting and recycling. And this is a process that is naturally happening. So again, there is no striving or efforting. Can you relax and allow this natural process of letting go which is something that's happening all the time, but particularly invited by this season, the season of the fall. Can you allow the natural process to take place? Knowing that it may bring up some emotions, even grief and sadness are very common as we let go of something that served us well, but now we no longer need. It's knowing those feelings are perfectly natural. And when you feel complete, letting the arms come out to the side, taking a moment to once more feel inwards and notice how the practice has affected you, if anything has shifted for you in your energy, in the way the breath is flowing in and out of the body, in your overall sense of well-being. We're going to inhale the arms out to the side, gathering peaceful chi from the environment around us. In this beautiful little forest environment, so gathering the peaceful chi that is present here. And then bringing the middle fingers towards each other, palms turning towards the earth as the arms descend. Visualize or feel this peaceful chi of the fall season flowing into the form of the body, receiving it into every cell, and at the same time allowing anything that's still there that's not needed to descend to your feet and continue its descent towards the earth. Really feeling how the earth can absorb and receive whatever it is that we no longer need. And taking the palms over the lower belly to the low dantian, allowing the energy to settle and be stored here.